Today's lesson is theorems about perpendicular lines. So we've got a couple theorems right here on the board. And again, as a reminder, perpendicular lines form right angles. So the first theorem we get into is all right angles are congruent. Again, congruent's a fancy name for equal, meaning they all are going to equal 90. Right? So angle A and angle B are both right angles. They're going to equal 90, so they equal each other. 3:2. If two lines are perpendicular, they're going to intersect to form four right angles. Now, if they intersect in that method, right, we're down here, it looks like they're here. Remember, these are vertical, so they're equal. Angle 4 from earlier lesson would be 180 minus 90, which is 90. Oh, but you know, that's also a right angle, and then you could vertical that over. So it's pretty simple math, right? Vertical angles are equal, 180 minus, right? That's where that comes from. So now we don't need to worry about doing that math given perpendicular. We just know every time they're perpendicular, all four of the angles formed are right angles. Next, in the diagram, R is perpendicular to S and R is perpendicular to T. Determine whether there's enough information to conclude that the statements are true. So, angle 3 congruent to angle 5, right? Do you see that they're right angles, right? We check. Right angle, right? So this one is yes. There's enough information. Next, 4 congruent to 5. Okay, well, what is 4 equal to? I don't see any information, but it's vertical. So based on that, this one's also a right angle. And now again, we have right angle, right angle. So yes, that one needed a little extra, but it was in the picture. So yes, they are congruent. Last one, how about 2 and 3? Now, as much as 2 looks like a right angle, we don't have any information about 1 or 2. These just, they're a linear pair. We've got vertical angles, but we don't have any information about this angle or that angle either. So with that, we just don't have really any information about angle 2. So that one is going to give us a no. Moving on to 2 more rules. If 2 lines intersect to form adjacent congruent angles, then the lines are perpendicular. Now, generally, I've seen this drawn more commonly as an upside-down T, not to hint at perpendicular. But then if these angles are equal, right, they're both x, and we've got 2 x's, add to equal 180. When you divide by 2, we get 90. So each one of these also have to be a right angle. And that's the basic math on why that works. If we've got 2 angles right next to each other that are equal, and they form a line, right? So they have to add 180. They both must equal 90, and therefore the lines are perpendicular. Next, if they tell us we've got this perpendicular right angle here, but it's broken up into 2 different angles, those 2 angles will add equal 90, or fancy word, they are complementary. So when you have a picture like that, 3 and 4 will add to 90. So if I gave you a little more information, like, say angle 3 is 35 degrees, you could solve for angle 4, okay? So moving on. In the helicopter at left are angles AXB and BXC right angles. Now again, I don't see a right angle box, but I do see these congruent angles, right? That is just what we had on that last slide, right? If you don't remember, back, looks like this one right up here that I circled. They're going to be the same exact situation. And again, the conclusion there was, yep, we have right angle or perpendicular. So yes, these will be perpendicular. Right angles, sorry. AXB and BXC are right angles. Next, in the diagram at right, EF is perpendicular to ray EH, and angle GEH is 30. Find the value of Y. So again, the main information we need is that little right angle box tells you it equals 90. So these two together equal 90, and we're going to set that up as an equation. 6y plus 30 equals 90. Now solving, subtract 30 from both sides. 6 times some number y is 60. Divide by 6 on both sides, and we get y equals 10. You can always check your answer by plugging it in, right? 6 times 10 makes this 60 degrees. And again, 60 plus 30 equals 90 is our double check. Yep. So that one is correct, that y equals 10. One last one is kj perpendicular to kl. JKM is congruent to MKL. Solve for z. Right? So we've got these two angles are the same. So we've got z plus another z is 90. So how many z do we have? We've got 1, 2. So 2z equals 90. And then when we divide by 2 on both sides, half of 90 is 45. So z equals 45. One more, we've got 36 and 9y. Now, don't be tricked. These aren't equal, but they add to equal the right angle of 90. So 9y plus 36 is 90. We want to subtract 36 from both sides. So you get 9y equals 54. Divide by 9 on both sides, and I get y equals 6. You plug it back in, just for the double check. 6 times 9 is 54. Does 54 plus 36 equal 90? Hopefully so. 8, 9, yeah, 90. So there's our double check. And y equals 6. And that wraps up this lesson. Make sure to do the homework assignment on Google Classroom.